What's up, YouTube? Our first mod today is going to be well, I hope you can tell already, just from the kind of looks of it. It's somebody that went out of the way to try to create Helm's Deep. That's right, this is Helm's Deep by Argon 0981, and he sought to recreate Helm's Deep in Skyrim itself, and I have to say he did a fairly good job. The only problem is it's so massive, as you can tell, things are still loading or loading in as I get closer to it. That is how big this is. Pretty much to get into the fort, there is an outside entrance that you'll find. There will be a map marker called Rohim's Retreat, and it will bring you to a gate that you can come to get into here. And as you can tell, it's a fairly good recreation. There are a few little bugs and tweaks with it that need to be worked out, but the mod author is still working on this. It is a work in production. So I would actually like to see, like the trees probably go away and have like maybe like Stormcloak versus Imperials, where the Stormcloaks is like they're holding out, and the Imperial army is probably like raiding it, or vice versa. As you can tell, fairly large courtyard. There's a lot that can be done with this. Uh, I mean, like I said, it is still a work in progress. So you're gonna find that some stuff doesn't look just quite right, or you're gonna find textures overlapping each other, things like that. Uh, but that's not all. Oh yeah, by the way, workbenches don't work. You can in fact get inside the building if you can get the door to say keep. I don't know why, but courtyard and I think they might have overlapped the doors or something. There we go. You just had to find the correct spot to be able to go inside. That's something that I'd like to see worked out, because I think they probably use the same door on that one spot and it overlaps each other. Uh, but other than that, other than that and the overlapping textures, I don't really see much of an issue with. It does probably need a navigation mesh. I do have a follower with me, and they did not follow me through. And like the hall, like the main hall itself, it kind of needs to be worked on, because I seem to remember this being completely like a large empty space where the horses and works like the workstations were and everything for the last charge before it went into where the proper hiding place for all the people were. But as you can tell, it is fairly large, and there is also another door out to Skyrim. So if you wanted to go back out to Skyrim from the keep itself, you can do that. And once you've gone through that door, yeah, normal load screen, but it's also going to put you out in another location. So when we get out there, I'll show you where the map marker is for the entrance for Helm's Deep. And you'll be able to see where in Whiterun you can walk into that location as well. Okay. As you can tell, current location there. Bunch of different like markers for that. Uh, and this is where you would go. It's fairly close to the shrine to Mehrunes Dagon, so you can basically figure out where that is. It will be tucked away, and if you do port there, be prepared to fight. I ended up, just before I started recording, ended up having to kill a frost troll and at least 3 Daedric that came down from the mountain for some reason. So do keep that in mind if you do port there. You could always just walk around, try to find the entrance. It's on the side of the mountain where there's like a little bit of an opening with a steel gate that you can open up. Okay, now let's get on to our next mod. And for our next mod, it is a follower mod, and it is this one right here, named Bonnie Follower by Mern. And as you can tell, she is wearing the Draken Bikini armor. That is the default armor that she will come with, along with the sword that she's carrying. You'll find her in Dragon's Reach, which is why I'm also here, and you'll also notice that, well, she's actually kind of really good looking. In terms of, like the hairstyle, I believe that it either is the one that she comes with, or well, yeah, it's the one that she comes with. But I'm not exactly sure about the hair color. I'm not really sure because on the website it gave her actually well, on the Nexus site, it gave her a kind of grayish looking hair color. But as you can tell, it is not a grayish looking hair color. So it might have actually changed up a few things. As you can tell, she's also got her own kind of face paint and makeup going for her. So if this is a character that you, well, follower that you would like to have following you around, then by all means go for it. I'm pretty sure the damage that she can do to enemies is quite severe. And if you remember, I had the little vampire follower. Well, she completely vamped out and just annihilated 3 Dremora and a Frost Troll. So that's what she looks like in her vampire form. So again, another follower, another great follower. So let's move on to our next mod. And if you didn't like the way that she looked before, well, here's a new mod for you to change the way that Recorder looked. This is Recorder Overhaul by Sleeps a Lot. It basically just takes the character of Recorder, changes her face look, and basically her entire appearance so that it's, well, completely and utterly different. So if this is something that you'd like to have, if you didn't like the way the original Recorder looked and you wanted something a bit more, well, then fear not. There is a overhaul for Recorder herself. So pick it up if you want. Still a great
follower. A lot of
crazy insanity to her. So let's get on to our last mod. Alright. And if you notice, naturally Misap's getting pushed, her hairstyle has changed. That is because I am now showing off one of the hairstyles for the KS Hairdos HDT Physics by Stealthic and Kalilius. And this is gonna add a huge amount of different hairstyles that do have physics. And what I mean by physics, I mean when you run, it goes off to the back. When you run backwards, it drapes over your shoulder.
There are in Skyrim.
You can tell it moves around, and it doesn't just when you stop. Sometimes it doesn't just go back to its normal position. As you can tell, it is now draped over her shoulder. It is now up in front of her. So again, a hairstyle that actually flows, has some kind of movement to it, and it doesn't just automatically reset like most most physics hairdos do. And it is done by the same people that did the last huge update for hair, I believe I showed off. So you could tell it is going to be quality. It is going to be something that works the way it's meant to work. And it is going to be a huge package of multiple different hairstyles. This one I basically chose because it was really long and I could show off what it looked like as opposed to the shorter hairstyles. So pretty much if I wanted to pose my character, the hair might actually also change in the direction it is. And as you can tell, you can just whip it around. So it's a really nice kind of change of pace to have something as good as like a physics-driven hairstyle. I do believe that in the future of modding, this is going to be a standard. No more of the static, just stays in place at all times kind of different hairstyles. So if you're a modder that is looking to get into that, make sure you learn how to do these kind of physics-driven hairstyles, because they're going to be pretty much when Fallout 4 comes out, I believe, like all the vanilla characters, their hairstyles will be also physics-driven as well. So if this is something that you're interested in, then by all means, go for the mod, endorse it. It's actually a really good mod and shows off what the future of modding is going to be like. Alright, if you have any questions or comments or anything like that, feel free to leave them in the comment section below and I will try to answer that. If you're wondering what I'm going to be doing for the next kind of revisit thing I started, it's probably going to be the race menu, or because it has had a huge changes, well, huge amount of changes to it since the last time I featured it. So pretty much keep track of that as well. And I did manage to get Fallout 3 working again, as you can probably tell by now. So again, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below, and take care as always. See you next week. Bye.